Yo, what's good up in your hood? It's your boy, EBH Black, back with another edition of Business Decision Sports. Brought to you by the EBH Black Show. Hey, we was just backstage in the green room with Crutch. Crutch hot right now. He was on the camera. He ain't on the camera. He was hot. We just had a spirit conversation about this coaching thing. We're gonna touch on that a little bit, but we gotta talk about Joy Taylor. Joy to the world. Come to find out it was Joy. Christmas came a little late for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be cool because the guys don't
Joy's
really know.
them Christmas cheeks.
Yeah. And so the fellas don't really know a whole bunch about what's going on. So we're gonna briefly talk about what's going on with that. And we're going to talk about Antonio Pierce being fired. We're going to talk about the Raiders. We was having a conversation yesterday about that, and it's about time me and John talk Raiders a little bit. First, though, I do want to start off on a positive note. Did y'all see Mike Evans? 11 straight seasons, 1,000 yards. That's major to me. That's big for him, and maybe good enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. Maybe
He's Hall of Fame 100%.
Yeah, so that definitely don't hurt his argument right there. But take a look at what happened, and we'll talk about that real quick. Him getting that bag. Yeah, that's what it's all about right there, right? So he had an incentive that if he got over 1,000 yards, he would get his bonus of 3 million of them things. 3 million of them. So that was like a $3 million catch right there. One catch does make a difference. That is literally a $3 million catch. That's a lot of chicken.
You know what?
Right
when you were showing that highlight, right? Now we gotta separate the two. First, let me start off by saying Jerry Rice is the unequivocal GOAT. There's no disputing that.
None at all.
They need to stop conflating Mike Evans' record with Jerry Rice, because Mike Evans is the only NFL receiver to have 1,000 yards in his first 11 seasons. Jerry Rice did it 11 straight years. He didn't do it 11 straight years to start his career.
Facts. So to me, that makes his a little bit sweeter, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he came out the box fresh.
And like I said, that ain't no disrespect to Jerry, because Mike Evans is no Jerry Rice, but that record should be all to his own, period.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And the funny part about it is he might break it next year, his own record and Jerry Rice.
Yeah, he ain't done.
He ain't done.
Yeah, he ain't showed no signs of slowing down.
Well, and the thing about that longevity is he fought injuries, including this year and last year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To still get that 1,000 yards. I do understand 1,000 yards ain't the same like it was back then either, though. With the passing being a little bit easier in this age, but 1,000 yards is still 1,000 yards. And hats off to him and his 3 million chickens.
Especially when you're going out there every single game, every single year doing it.
Yeah. So what would y'all do if you was in that situation? You got the bonus. I always make the joke that them is grown man paying other grown people bills. That's why they play so hard. You can see the love on the sideline. The whole team, well, probably most of the team was excited for him, and you could just tell it was a love right there. So what would y'all would have done with that $3 million bonus? What you would have did that night?
I'd have went on and put it up. Because I already got the money anyway. That $3 million bonus would have been just that, a $3 million bonus. I'd have went on and put them 3 million chickens up. And shit, if I had 3 kids, each one of them would have had $1 million that day. Just because I'm feeling good and I got it.
Yeah.
I would have did with it.
I would have celebrated.
I can tell you what I would have did with it. It would have pretty much it probably would have led to no good.
I mean, I would have celebrated somehow.
Especially last game of the season. You know,
I'm gonna celebrate.
He's going into the playoffs, but yeah, if they were a non-playoff team, if I wasn't going into the playoffs and I wasn't playing the following week, I'd be MIA for a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
with a big bag next to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I would have celebrated me tying Jerry Rice's record and that $3 million bonus. I would have been like, grab the family and I don't know. 3 million. I don't know what I would have did with it, but I would have celebrated somehow. I don't know, because they probably already go on trips and stuff and all that. I'd have did something for me. I don't know what it would have been, but I'd have did something like that. but this is what he did with it.
How do you celebrate this milestone tonight?
I might go to the casino with my family. I might go just hang out, watch some games, and play a little blackjack.
Is it any more special that?
No, they can't get where I'm going.
He said, "Nah, they can't get where I'm going."
Right, not at all. They can't get where he going. He playing in the big boy
let's
table.
put it in perspective for Mike. So with that $3 million, that brings his career NFL earnings to 134, plus endorsements.
134 of them. That's sweet, man.
I just looked
So
it up. Yeah, because his cash this year was 21 million with that $3 million. But he got 134 total.
Man, that's and ain't Florida no tax?
Right.
His whole career, no tax.
Whole career, no tax. Speaking of no tax, I remember this receiver.
No state income tax.
Right. This receiver went down to the Dolphins to avoid tax, and he said he was with a quarterback that was better than Mahomes. Well, what a difference a couple years make.
This is my first time I haven't been in the playoffs, man, so I just got to do what's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here or if that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. I'm out, bro. So it was great playing here, but...
How you just gonna say I'm out, bro?
Hey, but once
why he's still under contract? He just made the decision right then and there.
Hey, Tyreek Hill
is
not
the water down there in Miami, bro. Jimmy Butler going crazy. Tyreek Hill going crazy.
Man, what is going on? Hey,
my man, 2 months ago he was face down in handcuffs. Now he's just trying to get the hell out of Florida.
Hey, look, but he from there. But the thing about it is, when he was doing the whole police thing and people couldn't see the early warning signs that his elevator don't make it to the top floor, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But look, once the franchise found out, this was the response.
Tyreek Hill moments ago indicated he wants out from the organization. How do you react to that? And do you want Tyreek back?
I think in regard to things that are stated, I guess it would be secondhand. For me, I hadn't heard that, but just in general, emotions are high, especially after a game like that. But I think that there will be conversations that will be direct in the next couple days, which is kind of the process of the end of season meetings. And I think obviously there's a lot of power in having a team that wants to and wants to play together and go for a common goal. So that's inherent, but I'm not going to put too much weight on secondhand post-game disappointment statements, and we'll see how the next couple days progress with those conversations with him and I.
Hey, why he
said? I would have showed the video right then and there. It ain't secondhand.
Hey,
This is what he said.
hey, he sound like a little Jerry Jones. He said a whole bunch of nothing and a whole.
And
He
why
looked like he just got out of community. He just looked like he just got out of community college class answering something.
Hey, why he sound like he was walking through a landmine? If he said the wrong word, he was gonna blow up. I'm like, what is going on here?
I'm like, what the fuck is he saying, man? This nigga just said a whole bunch of nothing.
No, what he said was
he's sitting there talking like Tyreek was gonna slap the shit out of him if he said the wrong thing.
Oh, speaking of what he said, he thought this was about to happen.
You know you fucked up, Woody, don't you? Come on with it. Baby powder. Smell that is. You changing diapers?
Yeah, man. Like, he thought baby powder was in the. He thought powder was in the room. So, like, okay, I understand. You want to say, cool. Tyreek a little pissed right now, and the franchise is the franchise, and we just gonna like a talker to or whatever. But this is what happened 24 hours later.
We met for I want to say an hour yesterday. I was very direct with him. He was very honest, and it was great terms that we were discussing. Discussed multiple things, including without wavering, that it's not acceptable to leave the game and won't be tolerated in the future. And he embraced accountability, and it was. I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily to fix, as much as we had to clear the air in a rough and tumultuous situation.
But hit him again. Hit him again.
Hit him again. Powder say hit him again.
Oh, bitch, just funny. Come on with it. Oh, boy, y'all rather piss off that crew than piss off powder. Oh, it's funny. Keep on laughing. Bring your face over here. Play that shit.
Wow.
Man. And so, well, at least it sounded like there was less minds in the field, and he talked to the higher ups, and they told him the same thing you just said, was he on contract. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't even know how to read his contract. He just read the numbers. So
that's why you use medicated gold bonds. See that?
Yeah.
Hey, I know who you ain't heard from in the last 24 hours.
I know who you ain't heard from. He ain't saying too much.
He ain't said shit. I ain't seen no media posts. I ain't seen.
What's up with Macho Man Randy Average? He said he would have bought 2 million Arizona tees with his $3 million from Mike Evans. Man,
Tyreek been through. Tyreek, he ran off the field, been getting thrown on the ground by the cops.
Right.
He got his quarterback shadow boxing himself on the ground. I mean, you name it. This man's like, right. Man, I think I'm gonna rather just start paying state tax.
Hey, how he gonna be like, man? Y'all know what, man? I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. How you gonna just tell people you up out of here? So,
this is the first year I ain't been in the playoffs of my career.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man? So look, Business Decision Sports is here to give you some suggestions. We don't give advice. We gonna give you some suggestions. You know what I'm saying? This is we putting it on live right now, so that way later on when y'all see this meltdown, we gonna be like, we've been told y'all. We've been told y'all. I seen it happen when he got pulled over by the police. I started to do a video, but I don't like dogpiling on brothers when the police get on, especially when they wrong. So yeah, Tyreek, whatever you got going on, stop doing that.
Yeah, stop that, bro. Stop that. Cause right now ain't a good look. and then they said that, well, he did post something within the last 24 hours. He posted Antonio Brown throwing his shit up in the fans, but had his face on it.
Well, wait, that happened in Florida too. Yeah, it's something in that oxygen. It's in that
something in that
oxygen water
man.
mix. It's the oxygen water mix. There's something in the oxygen and the water. And speaking of Florida, Joy Taylor's brother. I don't know if y'all heard about Joy
Leave
Taylor.
him out.
JT, he played in Florida. There's something going on in that Florida vibe. But in case y'all don't know, this is what's been going on her lately.
Joy Taylor, you was out here telling people to shut up and dribble while getting passed around the Fox Sports News broadcast room like it was nothing, son? And when another woman felt pressured by the same dude you was sleep with, she came to you, woman to woman, she's like, what's going on? I don't feel comfortable. You said, get over it? The only reason me and you got a job is because of him? Oh, nah, Joy. You done set us back years. And he goes to the same girl and says, hey, if you don't sleep with me, if you don't let me hit, you're not getting that contract back. Guess what? You're fired. Obviously, she was like, I'm cool. I don't need it that bad. But Miss Taylor, Miss Joy, said, oh, nobody gives a fuck. This is how we do it around here. You don't understand? I'm sucking dick everywhere. It doesn't matter. This is crazy. An absolute egregious work by Joy. If you wonder what Mr. Dixon looks like, I mean, very typical if you ask me. Boy is a freak. My goodness, like, calm down, son. You can't get girls yourself. You could pay for people outside the office. You was just a horny motherfucker. And Emmanuel, you not safe either, brother. I seen those records. You enjoy. Y'all was getting freaky in the studio, son. You can't delete them tweets. It's too late. Internet is immediate. Oh, Skip Bayless. No worries. I saw. A lot of people, they try to leave you out because the Joy Taylor shit is just shocking. But you, wow. Whole nother level horny. You offer her $1.5 million to sleep with a certain individual, not named Joy Taylor. 1.5 M's. Ah, son, hold on. Who is she? What did you hear in them streets? And he was like, you know what? That's a crib and then some. You understand what I'm saying, Skip? Don't you got a wife too? Oh my days. I know she is pissed. Swear down, bro. Good luck.
Yo, first I want to point out I don't like the way that dude says sucking dick. That's number one.
I was wondering if that was like your nephew.
I think he's been tested. I think his seal's been tested. We gotta watch how that dude's talking.
Oh, I thought that was your.
He said you don't. Nah. We ain't no relationship.
I will stay out of this one.
Oh, there you go. You had a whole lot to say earlier.
I ain't got no family members playing for that team, bro.
No, I don't think
that nigga. Hey, it sounds like that nigga was really hating on how she getting her money and doing all. Because man, if you haven't noticed, bro, these broads is out here sleeping to get what they want to get already. So just because, why you think Joy like fucking keep talking? Hey, you don't want to sleep with him? I'll go get the money then. Shit,
she was already getting it. She was already getting it.
So he mad because he ain't got the money Skip got to offer a broad 1.5. Look, don't nobody know if anybody know who that broad was. That broad ain't no telling if she took it or not.
I can't hate on her, bro. I'm telling you. I don't know what I would do if I was a female.
So let me ask y'all this then.
The streets would have took me years ago.
Throw around, bro. They got money to throw around. That's what they doing.
So wait a minute. The woman was being sexually harassed, right? And she went to Joy in confidence, and then Joy told her, "Girl, you better get in where you fit in." Essentially, and she said, and Joy also went as far to say, "Look, check this out. I get what I want from these dudes, and when I'm done with them, I put a sexual a sexual assault case on them." She said she'll do that to them.
Yo, this bitch be carrying disclaimers with her.
So wait a minute. Y'all saying it's cool for her to get it with her assets. But then she's saying that to play the game, she got a piece on the chessboard that's going to trump anything a man do, because all she got to say is they were sexually assaulting her, similar to what the lady.
I ain't down with the second part.
Similar to what the lady is alleging. That's how Joy name even came up in this situation, because she confided in her and she told her to get over it. So then come to find out, this same woman was having a conversation and Skip was like, I'll give you 1.5 to hit something. Now, I don't think it went down like that per se. I think he might have made a jokingly comment or something like that and they conflating it to something else. But all in all, if you are playing this game and you're not qualified, shouldn't that person be fired? Hold that thought, though. Hold that thought. I'm just thinking. But now, here's a little bit more info.
Skip got to raise his dollar value. Anybody
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn John.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, here we go.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you got to do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that just going to make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right. So wait,
yeah, you couldn't say no, all right.
So this is why I have an issue with it all. I mean, like, I get it. Women can use whatever they can to get the job, right? But should they be able to use whatever they have to get a job if you're not really qualified for it? Because she's sitting there putting this trope out there. It's hard because I'm a black woman and I got to be twice as better. No, you did half the work and got twice the perks. You didn't have to do twice the work to get half the benefit. And that's the narrative that they continually push. And then men got to walk around sounding like old buddy in Florida, the coach, McDaniels, walking around minefield.
Yeah, this is where the sexist comes out in me, because
if you say,
"Oh, that's what you wanted," but you got to do more. You got to do double the work, because I don't. First of all, women they don't know as much when it comes to sports. That's not their lane. Because 90% of what they're covering, 90%, 95% of what they're covering, actually probably even more, because they don't cover a whole lot outside of men's sport. Yeah, they dabble into women's sports here and there, but 95% plus of what they're covering is grown men. When we're talking about the four majors.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got to work twice as hard, because they can't relate the same way.
And then also on top of that, she got 2 jobs. She was working with Colin, and she ended up taking essentially Marcellus Wiley's job. Because remember, him and ACHO was doing it. They was conspiring to get him up out of there so she can get the job. That ended up happening. So if you using what you got, but you're not really qualified, is that really fair? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really how that should go? Because I don't think it's fair, but here's ACHO jumping on the piggyback of her, because if y'all, a lot of things he used to say, they call him like the Black Oprah or whatever, because he always try to take up for black women. And these narratives that they say that black women got it so hard, like, they really was running a play. It's not really what they're saying.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week.
Come on, man. Come on, man. See, this is why when I hear this stuff without knowing the backstory, I know it's some BS behind it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, truth be told, I don't care about her opinion.
I don't. I don't care about her opinion either.
Right.
Furthermore, I don't care about his. You know what I mean? Like, it's just your opinion is what it is. Your opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
so do we like Joy? No, you know what? It's not that I don't like Joy. She just doesn't add value to me. Like, she's the same.
It's not like the show's ratings going to tank if she ain't on there.
Exactly. And so, but then when things come up like the Udoka situation, she was so gung-ho about that. You know what I'm saying? What if he was sleeping his way to the top? Because the higher up boss wife wanted some chocolate. But so what's the difference?
Well, it's a double. In society, it'd be a double standard. He'd be called a womanizer.
Right, and I'm sure she used words like that, and it was somebody else that she was talking about. And you know, when it comes to the social things, they push this narrative, and then you be the one that's saying what you're the main one that benefits that way. You fly under the radar. So once again, I ask, once this get exposed, should that person step down? Because had that been a man, they would have stepped down.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And to answer Clarissa, she asked the question whether or not we like. Well, I guess it was for all of us. Whether or not we like Joy, I'm neutral. I can ride with her or not. Like, it makes no difference to me.
Right. I don't watch.
I ain't got nothing
show,
personal against her, but yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'll
I
catch
ain't
it
got
if it's
nothing
on,
personal against
but
her.
I ain't got my DVR set up or nothing. You know what I mean?
I don't watch the show, so I don't know if she do a good job or not. I don't really care, but that's my opinion. But I'm pretty sure it's a lot of women and a lot of other dudes that do watch the show and care about what she say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Me personally, I don't care.
Truth be told, I don't go out of my way to watch any of these shows.
Right, I really don't. I mean, I listen to First Take and all that because I be at work and that's what I do. But after that go off at 8 o'clock, I'm playing music the next 9 hours. So I don't really care what none of them saying. I'm just trying to get updates on the app.
So what if it wasn't Joy on FS1 and it was somebody at your job? And you know that person was obviously because they cool with the hiring manager or with the higher up or something like that, and then this person want to take your job, even though you know more than this person, and it's obvious that you know more than this person, but she's sleeping with your boss. Would you have a problem with it?
She gonna get a
have a
different
problem with
position.
it. I ain't
She ain't
about
gonna
to
get mine.
I ain't
finna fight with her over it, but she ain't gonna never be able to do my job.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she be able to do your job or not. What if you get fired? If you get fired and she gets your job?
I mean, what
now, since you want to put me getting fired in it, then I don't. Then she, what you want me to do? Run the HR and talk? Oh, well, she's sleeping with the supervisor.
No, I'm asking you.
Let the job tank. I didn't never say nothing about getting fired. The first question was.
Wait, let me say what I'm gonna say. I said the question was if you got fired, because that's what happened to someone. Someone got fired behind that. So you said earlier that if she can sleep her way to the top, it's all good. So okay, cool. What if a girl comes in, take your job because she slept with your boss? Is that good? Is that cool?
Well, for
shit,
me,
bras do it all the time.
It's
a broad in a position now that shouldn't be in her position because she doing what she do. But I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm still at the job. They ain't just gonna fire me because
don't change what I'm saying,
you gotta
bro.
go.
No, yes, that's the bro.
So if I get
scenario.
fired because she in there fucking, then I get fired. I ain't gonna
So you
cry
think that's
spilled milk
okay?
over it. I'm gonna go get another job. No, it
So
ain't
you
okay.
oh,
No,
that's
it
all
ain't
I want to
okay.
know. That's what I'm asking. Is that okay? That's what I'm asking.
But it ain't like it don't
How
happen.
do you go about? How do you go
I'm
about
not
changing
asking
it? You
does it
can't do nothing to change it.
happens. I'm just asking, is it okay?
Is for me. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what you gonna do? I ain't a switch hitter, so I can't do what she's doing.
So
Now,
women should basically.
if my owner of my company is a woman, and she want me to come in there and slap the hips, and she gonna make me the CEO of the motherfucking company because I'm beating them, then I'm gonna go in there and beat them motherfuckers up. And whoever get fired, get fired. I don't give a fuck. Just like they don't care about me if I get fired when they in there sleeping with the CEO. Nah, I don't care. I'm gonna go do it too.
I mean, there's plenty of other, even with the men. I mean, there's all kinds of goofy shit going on with jobs like that, man. Like somebody doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. We understand. We understand that, but you worked your way into this job. You got a good position. You happy with your career path and everything. Then all of a sudden, your career path fall off because some chick that you know is sleeping with your boss and now has your position, and they offer you okay, well, you know what? You know, we're going to change some things around here. They offer you some things that they know you're going to say no to, and then you say, nah, I'm cool. And then they was like, well, you got to go. And then you leave, and you telling me you ain't going to be mad about it once you find out that. When I say mad, I don't mean emotionally mad. I mean, like, you just gonna let that just ride? Like, you just gonna, okay, well, I'm gonna go on to the next job. Hopefully it don't happen at the next job. Like, that's how you go, that's how you gonna walk around life? I'm just saying.
I guess you're running the risk. There's just cheeks everywhere. Go to this job, go to that job.
Clarissa said she getting fired. She blowing the whistle. I don't care. She do not care. Hey, but you know, and so I don't know. I just think it's a lot. It's a lot. That I don't understand people. I don't think people understand the gravity of this because when it's a woman, we overlook it, and then when they say stuff like this let me know that if we don't care as men, then it's gonna get 10 times worse, well, at least 3 times worse.
Imagine fumbling Joy Taylor. I would be sick, dog. They are. This was an iconic picture. This picture did well. I'm Joy Taylor, and I got time today. Joy Taylor said Miami has a history of winning. Don't the Dolphins have the only undefeated season in the NFL? Does Don Shula have the most wins of any NFL head coach that's ever coached in the NFL? 2 of the most talented black women in sports journalism, thank you, is talking about dating too. Shaking my head, we cooked. Do we not date? Are we not allowed to talk about dating on our not sports related show? Should we not talk about dating? I feel like people would be interested in what we think about that. You certainly were. You had lots of comments. Joy Taylor is not a journalist. She is the sister of former Dolphins defensive end Jason Taylor, first ballot Hall of Famer, get it correct, and just a TV personality off of her brother's connections. She has no degree in journalism. This is what we call fake news. I have a honorary doctorate in broadcast journalism, and I now serve on the board of trustees for my alma mater at Barry University. So I have much more than a degree in journalism. No way.
No, you don't. What's an honorary degree? That don't. And it wasn't much more. Like you like. See, this is problematic. This is problematic. Maybe I'm just the one that's tripping though. So if women can use a body to get what they want, so they can come to work dressed any kind of way, wear their hair any kind of way. And I'm not saying that they should have to come in there looking like nuns and nothing like that. I'm just saying that we're going to allow this to be this what it is, and we should just overlook it. Let me know tonight so I know. Well, actually, I'm not in that situation, so because I ain't gonna go to. Well, I might end up in that. I don't never know, but I ain't in no situation where I work a 9 to 5 where I have to do that. But if we gonna let women just use their body to get what they want, and then say, hey, I'm qualified, and this is how I qualified because I went to Sister Girl University and they certified me. I mean, like, at what point are you guys going to be like, nah, enough is enough? Because when she went on the show the next day, she had them boobs covered up because they're getting backlash.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, and the playmaker Michael Irvin. It's Victory Monday for some and Vacation Monday for others, but for the ones who did have Victory Monday,
Kick them on the way out the door.
Michael.
Vacation, real vacations for some of them too, Joy, because some of them ain't coming back.
Exactly. Who's walking around like the man on Monday, Michael?
Yeah, she needs to be the one that don't come back. And look how far she was from the men, social distancing, as I said. Like, come on, man. We should protect the women and then expose the men, because when the men do it, it's called freak off. So I thought that what FS1 stood for now. Freak Show 1. Like, I'm confused. So am I tripping? All right, we'll go on to the next thing.
That's a top. That
yeah,
they're kind of conflated. That's a subject for another show.
Oh, that's all good. I thought this was the show.
I know what you're saying. You ain't wrong. I mean, definitely ain't wrong.
Let's talk.
That's a tough comparison.
You ain't wrong, but they using it in. I mean, shit. It's rules and regulations set up at every job where women can't wear this and not supposed to wear this, that, and the third. All that shit is in place. Now, if the CEO is going out to dinner with this bro and ain't nobody knowing about it, only one or two people know about it, and more than likely it ain't gonna be nobody that's working, that a dude that's working up under him that's gonna know. It's probably gonna be another female. She ain't gonna say nothing.
It doesn't matter, but if it get exposed,
I understand you keep saying if it get exposed, then the necessary actions are gonna be taken.
Oh yeah,
nobody's saying it's right. Nobody's saying it's right.
I already know it's not right. I already know it's not right. I'm just saying. So what we do is when somebody spill that, just clean it up and go on as business as usual, and keep forgetting that this undercurrent of things that's happening. Like
just blow it all up. Just blow it up. Cancel the business. Do all that. Go find new CEOs. Go do all that. How do you want to handle it? How do you suggest that we handle it?
Do it the same way that when men get caught doing the thing, that very thing, treat them the exact same way. Fire them and blackball them. That's what you do. That's what happened to a man. So what's different in this situation? I ain't saying we supposed to drag her down Broadway and do like on Game of Thrones and say shame, like have her naked walking downtown. I ain't saying do all that. I'm just saying fire her and let's not act like nothing happened. Let's not do that. That's what I'm saying.
Fire it in.
Yeah.
Fire it in.
That's my point. I'm with y'all. I'm neutral on her, whether she on their show or not. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, now I'm gonna start watching it now. It ain't nothing like that. I'm looking at it straight neutral. Like if a man was in this situation and then he got caught up, they would fire him or they'll take him off the air for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And then come back later when everybody ain't mad no more. No, they go on the show the next day like the block not hot. The block is hot.
Right.
This is an ongoing situation.
So who's to say that they not gonna pull her down for a minute until they cool off?
Okay.
It just happened.
Okay.
Didn't it just happen?
Yeah. And you know what would happen to a man? They would like he's suspended indefinitely.
Give him time to resign too.
No, they'll be like he's suspended indefinitely. That's what they would say.
Why? Because that's how they did in Doka.
He be posting on X. Thank you for all the support. Blah, blah,
you'll
blah.
see him unfollowing FSM1. You'll be unfollowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what it is.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah, I mean,
it's cool.
truth is truth. I mean, men got a shorter leash in that industry for sure.
Right. And I'm just saying that we fighting for this equality thing. And we fighting for this equality thing because the whole reason why they keep saying that they black women and they got it hard because it's not equal. Then when you get in position and you get exposed in said position, then you got to go get your off with the head like anybody else. You shouldn't have got caught, like you saying, Crutch. You shouldn't have got caught because everybody knows it's happening. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Well, according to them court documents, now they proving it. So you gotta go. But it's cool though. Speaking of gotta go though, AP went. And the Raiders is a funny situation because what they decided to do was to fire the dude not Monday, but toss him out Tuesday. And the funny thing that you asked me, John, is like, why did they do that? And this is what I had to say on Monday after I heard that, he did a press conference and they asking him, well, what are you thinking about your staff and stuff like that? And it appeared that he wasn't going to be fired. But this is what I said.
I'm emotionally detached at this point. I'm expecting buffoonery. So this is really not that surprising.
Right.
So either we're keeping him, which, okay, or we decided to let him do a press conference and then fire him. So either way, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure which one's worse. What do you think is worse, Black? If we let him do a press conference, make him think he's kept a job, and then can him, or we keep him, but he's only got a 1-year deal, so he can't get any good assistance. And we're not willing to give him an extension, so we're basically just handcuffing him and dooming him to fail when he has already failed. Which one do you think is worse? Just asking.
Well, it's like you know, like when you feel like you're about to get fired and then you don't get fired on that Friday, and then you come to work on Monday, and then you get fired on Monday.
Yeah,
and you like, you could have just fired me on Friday.
Why you wait?
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. So it's probably better to get fired on Friday, so you don't come to work on Monday. So
yeah, that's a waste of time.
Waste of whatever. But yeah, I still have about 4-5 toes out saying he ain't gonna make it. But it looks like I'm wrong.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible it's absolutely, this is the Raiders, it's 100% possible they still can him, right?
Yeah, so when I heard that the Raiders, he did the press conference, I still felt like that something just wasn't right. So what do you think about that, John? Because I nailed it before it even happened. Like, the Raiders gonna Raider. They're gonna do that. So what it appears is not what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is, I mean, it's kind of like separate issues. I wasn't necessarily overly ecstatic when he got the job in the first place. And that's no disrespect to him. I just didn't think he was the best available candidate for the position that our team is in. But something can be said to hanging somebody out there to do a presser where you're kind of discussing. There was like a half and half. He's discussing. He's reflecting on a little bit. He's a little bit of reflection on the past season, and then there's some. A lot of questions were geared towards what do we do moving forward. It was almost like it was like a partial job interview. Let's see what his answers are if we were to move forward with him, as the franchise, and they didn't like what he had to say. You know what I mean? It was kind of weird. I mean, if I ran a professional, if I ran a football team, I wouldn't have did him like that. But I mean, I can't say that I haven't seen stranger things over the past 20 years with the Raiders. So
Well,
it's kind of status quo at this point.
And what was strange to you in our conversation yesterday was that they kept Telesco also, though.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. If I had my choice, I mean, I'm not a fan of either one of them really, but I'd rather run it back. I'd rather I don't even get why I don't get why we hired Telesco. I'm not, like I said earlier when you were in your earlier podcast, like I'm not big on the whole retread thing. Like they bring Telesco in like he accomplished something in with the Chargers. I don't. It's like, oh, we got our guy now. Like, got our guy what? Like, what has he done?
The argument with the Chargers is not that. Well, it's not that he was drafting bad players, right? It was more the coach than the players that he chose. So he did his part as the GM. So they wasn't shortcomings because of him.
Wait, when you say that, like you're saying he did his part as the GM, you're talking about player personnel because the GM's job is finding the right head coach too to go with those players.
It is, and then that's why they got rid of the head coach, but I guess they got rid of him too, though, right? So, and then people like that his draft picks last year, like they hit. So he draft better. But the thing is that they draft better than we've traditionally drafted. That's what the consensus is. That he drafted better.
That's based off 1 year. I don't know. So we're specifically talking about the 2023-24 Raiders draft class, right? Versus our past drafts.
Yeah, because we got Bowers and Powers and Glaze.
Okay. So, I mean, did Bowers make any different of I mean, we're a 4-win team. Did he? And don't, Bowers is a stud. I'm not saying he's not, but I mean, I'm not saying we've hit a bunch of draft picks over the past couple of decades because we have surely whiffed on more than we've hit, but we've hit on, Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper, Josh Jacobs, like we Max Crosby. I mean, it's not like we haven't hit on draft picks. Like, I mean, Bowers fell into his lap when Atlanta came out of nowhere and drafted Penix.
Right.
Bowers would not be a Raider if it had that not happened. And as much as I like Bowers, you're never going to draft. I mean, show me the team that drafts a tight end in the first round, and that's a franchise altering moment. It's still about getting a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. You can tell a lot about a GM by the quarterback that he chooses. You could pick Bowers. It almost probably was a no-brainer to pick Bowers, but like I said, I don't know. My jury is out on him still. I haven't seen enough to be like, nah, he ain't him. But then I don't see the victory all that some people display. Not saying you, but a lot of people don't like Telesco, and I'm like, I don't see what he's doing so bad that he draft better than Gruden. I mean, so and we would take Gruden back, but in this case, if he was to come back, Telesco would be the GM. So I didn't know, but a lot of people were saying that he was scapegoated. We was talking about Shady made some comments, and also this was Richard Sherman prior to AP getting fired. See what you think.
They set him up for failure. And if you fire him, it's such BS because you didn't give him a good enough team to do anything more than what they're doing. They had Devontae for a little while. They traded him away. You let Josh Jacobs go. And so you knew that this wasn't going to be an attractive job last offseason. So did you just give it to Antonio Pierce so that he could bite the bullet this season just to fire him until it was a more attractive position when you have a high draft pick? You set the man up for failure, expected him to fail, fired him for failing with no chance. If they do that, I'd be so pissed off because that's total BS.
Well, I don't agree with him entirely.
We know who pissed off.
It's well documented at this point that Jim Harbaugh fully expected to get interviewed and hired for the Raiders job. So to say it wasn't attractive last year, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Harbaugh, actually, it's documented that the Chargers were third on his list. So that's almost like where he settled. So I don't know if I agree with the whole, it wasn't an attractive position. I think most people, after watching Antonio finish out the season, kind of figured it was his job to lose at that point, more so than bringing in, the head coach, other head coaches that were available for interviews. I think Mark took a shot in the dark, kind of took a shot, not in the dark, but took a shot at, trying to build on continuity that was there with the players and how they felt about AP. But like I said to you earlier, I think it was kind of like a rah-rah hire. Like, I think those players played very emotional the second half of the season, and that, once the offseason hits, you got to get down to them, personnel and X's and O's, man. That rah-rah stuff does not carry over. It just doesn't.
Yeah, well, we know who's pissed, and that's Richard Sherman, because he did end up getting fired. I don't buy the whole they set him up for failure thing, essentially saying because, attached with that is because he's a black coach, it's easy to scapegoat him and things like that. And the Raiders franchise is known for giving.
Well, here's my thing, right? If you want to if people want to make that case, you could definitely make a case for that and argue that, right? But whose decision was it this year to switch quarterbacks? You know what I mean? Now I say this not saying that I necessarily believe that Aiden O'Connell is the future of the Raiders, but I will say, based on how he played coming down the stretch last year, it should have been his job to lose, and AP made the decision. He helped himself to dig that hole. His job is to coach the players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can sit here and say that Gardner Minshew blew away Aiden O'Connell in preseason, because he didn't. But yet AP still made a decision to kind of really throw Aiden O'Connell under the bus instead of he should have. And again, I'm not saying that Aiden O'Connell would have made it through the year and he wouldn't have eventually gotten benched, but if Aiden O'Connell is any good or was any good, he destroyed his confidence before the season even started by doing that and dug his own hole. The players rallied around. Devontae was a supporter of Aiden over Minshew. Like, you could tell just by his comments going through the offseason, going through preseason, he fully expected him to be the starter. So you're antagonist. So in some kind, in a way, AP again, he's responsible for Aiden. He played a part in running Devontae out of town. Like, he helped dig his own grave. I'm not putting it all on AP, but to say that for Sherman to say that he was set up for failure, he played a part in setting himself up.
Yeah, he played a large part, because the things that we're talking about aren't necessarily the X's and O's and putting in the wrong personnel. We're talking about the decision making as a coach and how you're handling it is just out of kilter. But the look on my face is because I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, because they did rally behind AOC to win those games and get him the job. I felt like they should have started Minshew because of the experience thing. But if the team was thinking AOC, and if it was close, then you probably should have went with AOC. And this is the first time that I'm seeing it that way. And then just let him fail if that was what was going to happen.
You know how these elite receivers are, man.
Not fail, but lose the job. But what'd you say about the receivers?
You know how these elite receivers are. You know, Devontae, he developed a rapport with Aiden. You know what I mean? He played with him. He didn't play with Minshew. He spent a whole lot of time practicing with Minshew. And it really and it showed at the beginning of the season. I'm sure there were some other factors with Devontae, wanting out, but it's not just strictly about Minshew over Aiden O'Connell, but but Crosby, he was a fan of him. Yeah, and you're even starting to see, Max's attitude, towards the Raiders starting to change a little bit. Like we got to start getting it right, man. Like
So was it fair that they fired AP?
See, for me, it's like a two-part answer. I don't think it was fair that they fired him, but I also don't believe that they should have hired. Once you hired him, he should have been given a fair chance. And I don't think one season necessarily under these circumstances was a fair chance. That being said, I don't necessarily think he should have been hired in the first place.
Yeah.
But once you made that decision to hire him, you should have seen it through.
Well, but they wasn't anticipating getting swept through the division. And they wasn't we're in the division where we have arguably two.
But why would you not anticipate that? You literally have, with no question, whether it's with an unproven 9-game Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew, you have the fourth best quarterback in the division coming into the year. Could you possibly make a case for maybe you got the third best QB because you don't know what Bo Nix is going to be? Okay, maybe.
They could think that.
What did you expect to happen?
They could think that, but they didn't think that they wasn't going to win no games in our division. No games in our division?
Okay, well, all right. So, let me finish. So you have the quarterback scenario, right? You have 3 coaches with Super Bowl experience,
right,
in that division.
That's where I was going next.
You know what I mean? Like you got
so now
you
that you
have
know
the best, you have a dynasty in the division. Like I mean, there was.
But now that let's say that they didn't anticipate. Let's say they lost all the games in the division, but on top of that, we got coaches that's light years ahead of AP, so they're not going to just give us wins. So now he got to work 4 times as hard to even compete at this point. So we got to get him out right now. Now that we got the opportunity to make that decision, because once his contract come next year, we wouldn't have renewed it, especially if they win 4 or 5 games again.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, but would you not agree that, like I said, and this is based on once you've made that decision to hire him, you got to stick with it. Like, I mean, how long have we been watching this carousel of instability? Like, you can't win in the NFL by hiring a coach every year.
I agree.
You just can't, man. You can't.
I agree. But I think the Raiders is trying to do the right thing, and they kind of got caught between a rock and a hard place, because with Bisaccia, like I was saying on the other show, Bisaccia was going to be an emotional hire, but they said no, and they used their brain, but then they chose the wrong coach. Then they ended up back in the.
But then they turned around and did that exact thing a year and a half later.
Yeah, so they get in the same situation. They like, all right, this time we're going to listen to to the players, and then they end up getting AP, and so that ends up being the wrong decision because ideally the Raiders was trying to, they gave Gruden a 10-year contract, so they were definitely trying to make that a stable position. It's not that the Raiders want to keep doing that; it's just that we keep choosing the wrong coaches. So that's why this coaching, this new whoever coach we get is imperative right now for our franchise.
Well, I know it's unpopular, but I don't think they got it wrong with Gruden. There was just an odd.
No, not with Gruden. Not with Gruden. Got it wrong with AP, McDaniels, and McDaniels. Yes, because Gruden would have been the coach regardless. It wouldn't have been those two because they locked him down for 10 years, unheard of. Right. We were trying to, but now we ended up with McDummy and a real dummy. A big dummy. I mean, not a dummy like
in essence, to become the Patriots West, and that was just never going to work.
Yeah, and it was just too much. So now we got to cut bait. Now that we got at least a respectable draft pick, and hopefully we can kind of. Well, we almost at rock bottom. Maybe hopefully we can kind of like turn a corner.
This could go either way. This could actually get, and I hope it doesn't. This could get worse. So you get, if you go back, right, you get Gruden back in the organization. That kind of, the plan there was the stability, which I think we would have had because I think the thing with Gruden. And this doesn't give him a pass on, how he drafts because there's some work to be. There's a lot to be desired there, but the one thing that's different with Gruden versus McDaniels, and all these other guys is the feeling was mutual both ways. Like there was as much admiration and respect for him as there was for Gruden feeling that way towards the organization. Like this was, like I said to you before, I don't think he ever, from Gruden part one, I don't think he ever wanted to leave the organization. I think he came back with the intention of finishing, what he started because he has genuine love for the Raiders. And then you have that circumstance, you have the circumstances with him having to resign, but then what happens is even though he was the wrong hire, you get lucky and you get the all the cute nicknames they had for McDaniels. He was the he was like this. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I can't miss, almost which was ridiculous. But this can't miss head coach that we have to bring in the building. We got to hire this guy, right? But this year, my concern is like that. And then this past off season, that coach was out there in Jim Harbaugh. This can't miss coach. Got to get him in the building. We chose not to go with him. Now this coming season, it could get worse because, in my opinion, the names being floated out there, if we take Gruden out of the equation, that coach does not exist. There's not that can't miss guy out there. Right now there's nothing but a lot of, and one of these guys will succeed, but there's a lot of the next big head coach, the next coordinator that's ready to make that jump to the to being a head coach of a football team. There's not some established guy out there. Realistically, there's not some established guy out there that can come in and settle things down. You're almost definitely getting a guy that's going to come in that has nothing but inexperience. You know what I mean? Like from an operational standpoint of an NFL franchise.
But what about Pete Carroll?
I don't think he's a realistic option. I really
No.
don't.
Well, but what if they get him in the building? Could he get the job done?
I mean, he probably can, but I think these are names just being thrown out there. You know what I mean? Like, or like Bruce Arians, you hear his name getting thrown out, but to me, they don't make sense because like Bruce Arians literally retired so the coach in waiting could take over. So, like,
I don't think that's a realistic one. But Pete Carroll,
but
we
same
don't know
thing with
about
Pete Carroll.
though.
He kind of retired to go into the front office. It's not like he's out of football. He's still with the Seahawks. But I just don't think he wanted the everyday grind of the NFL head coach. You know what I mean? That's what I mean when I say that. Like I don't know if he is a realistic. Even though you hear that name, I don't know if he's a realistic option to become a head coach for any football team, let alone the Raiders. I could be wrong, but if there's someone out there that can, like, calm it down and provide some stability, then yeah, I think he could, sure.
Yeah, but he's the outlier.
I think he's a real outlier. I really think this ends with us hiring the bright mind coordinators, one of the bright mind coordinators that everybody talks about from a 13, 14, 15 win team from this year. That's who I think ends up being the coach.
And if that's the case, then I wouldn't have a problem with it.
It's not that I have a problem with it. It's just it's a lot to take on, man, because
welcome to the NFL. Because if you succeeded this in a mediocre type way, given a better position, you're going to do better, and the league knows that. So I'm all for a bright mind, because that's what I say.
I'm not against it. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying I hope it works, but I could also see a scenario where it's either just as bad or worse.
Yeah, I'm not thinking you saying that. I'm just saying, like, I'm really gung ho about getting some fresh ideas into the building, because we have an old philosophy franchise. Even the way we play now is still kind of like we don't have 4 receivers out there a lot, and stuff like that, and all these.
That's what I said to you earlier. This whole, listen, I love the slogans, man. Just win, baby. This is a commitment to excellence. I love all that stuff, but that does not equal wins in today's NFL.
Right. It doesn't.
You got to put a football team out there.
So we got to get these fresh new coordinators, like you said, off of 14, 12 win team, and let them just succeed or fail 2 or 3 years. Plain and simple. Because we still got a lot of building to do, because we got to get a quarterback.
All right, so when you say 2 or 3 years, right? So that it's kind of the situation that didn't happen here.
No, AP has no coaching experience. He don't have no.
So what I'm saying. Well, yeah, he was just a linebackers coach. So I guess what I'm asking you is are you okay with a coordinator to come in that's not going to give you immediate next season results?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So second question, do you think that Mark Davis is patient enough to do that as well?
At this point, yes.
I mean, you would think he has to be. But.
Yeah, at this point, yes. The only reason why I don't have that same grace for AP is because I did at the beginning of the season. He just knocked too many dominoes over for us to play a game. Like, because every week it was something crazy. Like, we have a team.
You know what's funny? I suspect that there's going to be a lot of stuff. He's just recently fired, right? But I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that starts to leak with that whole situation.
Right, it is. Because I heard somebody talking about it today, but they said now is not the time because he just got fired. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, because it's just too many things. They was having team meetings already in week 3 or week 4 or something. I mean, like, talk about business decisions already. Like, come on, man, dang. We just started this dance. Y'all already trying to go to the room with it? So, It is what it is. I mean, we're gonna see. I just think if we do come in with some new people, we understand that we don't have the personnel because they were injured. We didn't have no quarterback. We had running backs that was. Come on, we understood that. It's the things that AP was doing, lacking the accountability and looking like he didn't have no vision for the team. That's what really got him fired, not because he was black, not because of anything. It just that's the reason why.
What did you think about what's your opinion on, because this was kind of rare too. What was your opinion on having, all these, I shouldn't say all these, there's only two, but these head coaches running around the building, giving them advice. Marvin Lewis, Tom Coughlin, do you think at some point there's too much chatter in your ear when you do something like that?
When you do what again? I'm sorry.
When you got Marvin Lewis as some type of assistant.
Yeah.
You got Tom Coughlin as some type of assistant.
Yeah, too many.
You need to have your own. Do you agree? You have to have your own vision, right?
Yeah, because too many chefs spoils the soup, right? And that's what happened right there. Bring your own identity, because he looked like he was trying to take everybody's advice and he was confused. Like, if you're gonna die on the sword, let it be yours.
Right.
That's all.
I agree. I thought that really worried me when I saw I forget which one. I think it was Lewis first. I was like, why are we doing that? And then it's Coughlin. I'm like, all right, like, what are we bringing all these head coaches in for, man? Like, you got to have you put your own stamp on the team. Do what you think is right for the organization, for your football team, for your players.
He was acting more like an ex-player than a coach. So
right,
that messed
up. He was trying to get by with all the rah-rah. It just don't work, man. It don't.
Sorry,
you can't show me. It's just like people try and say, "Oh, well, look at Dan Campbell. He's a rah-rah guy." He is to a point, but watch him. Look at how he carries himself and how that football team carries himself. That team is about X's and O's. They execute.
Yeah, you could tell it's business first and then all that second.
You can have that energy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because business was first.
You gotta have the X's and O's.
We didn't have business first. So, So he got his demise. It was a learning experience. Hopefully he get another chance. But I don't see it. He got to go be a coordinator. He got to go be a coordinator or something like that. But good.
Well, it's going to have to be at the pro level because he ain't allowed back in college.
Right. So that bridge is burnt for a little while anyway. So thank y'all for hacking in to Business Decision Sports, where we have casual debates with the casual fan. Shout out to Big Cat Crush 19 who popped in for a minute, and wherever Josh is, we already know. We don't know where he is, but we kind of know where he is. So
I think the streets have taken Josh again.
To the streets, back as you go.
To the streets again.
You know how that goes. So thank y'all for hacking in, and hit the subscribe button. We'll be back.